So how do you prepare the perfect sales pitch that lead always to a close? Let me show you how to do it. And don't forget to remember your 5 Ds that I'm going to share with you. Don't start your sales pitch until the customer agrees to buy. If you can accomplish the selling before the pitch, you're well in your way to succeed. Finding the gap or the prospect needs means asking pointed questions. It also means getting the prospect to think and respond in new ways. It put the prospect in a situation where he realizes that his needs can be met with the solution that the knowledgeable sales rep might be presenting. The perfect sales pitch takes research and development whereby you can eliminate objections before they occur. Always ask good questions that lead to a commitment before you present, and have confidence that you can overcome any type of objection during that specific presentation. So what are the 5 Ds? You should remember them. Let me share them with you right now. And they are critical to pitch. First is development. Second is details. Third is differentiation. Fourth is decision making. And fifth is delivery. So be prepared, do your homework. It makes the difference between success and failure. So let's examine the 5 essential elements of a sales pitch. First, development. You have to make the presentation look extremely professional. Have a clear message. Make sure the message you want to convey connects with your audience. So spend time understanding your prospect. This part is not easy, but if you prepare properly, your level of success will increase significantly. If you want to become a top sales professional, you must know your customer's requirement prior to delivering your sales pitch. You must understand the areas of pain and discomfort that the customer has. You should know their needs better than they do themselves. Good salespeople spend a significant time before the pitch understanding their audience, and you should do the same. Please know your client, understand their history, understand their makeup of the management team, and know their performance over the past few years. This information will help you develop pointed questions during the meeting and make them feel comfortable that you understand their needs. You see, a quality sales pitch has a story. It is essential your pitch waves the correct message throughout the conversation that you have with the customer. The second segment or element is details. So please pay specific attention to the details. The most important details are the information specific to your prospect. So adjust your pitch to fit your client requirement. Personalize the presentation. Include their specific requirement in the presentation. Make sure you do that every time. The client will appreciate and recognize the extra effort that you put into the pitch. Remember, you're developing the relationship from the beginning. Anything that sets you apart from the competition is a benefit for the long-term goal. So always find the client pain. Customers have different area of pains that need to be addressed. Ask always my favorite question personally. Mr. Customer, right before you sleep, most night, what problems do you think about and wish you could solve pronto? If you solve that specific problem, you will be rewarded extremely well. All companies have areas of pain. They all have problems and issues, whether it's a lack of growth, whether it's an internal financial pressure, personal issues, or boardroom issues, whatever that might be. They are looking for help, and you are the solution. If your business solution can assist in relieving their pain, your sales cycle will get significantly shorter. And the third thing is differentiation, and that is key. You see, establishing market differentiation is one of the most important elements about the sales pitch. If you can stand out from the competition, if your prospect don't see the value proposition in your product, your pitch is probably dead. You lost the opportunity to a competitor who's better prepared than you. So you got to really find that edge. After hearing 1,000 sales pitches and reviewing hundreds of business plans, the most significant problem companies that I personally seen can be narrowed down to a simple, clear, easy to remember value proposition or message that the prospect can relate to. You see, you can just say that you are better than the competitor, but it doesn't take you far. You need to show them how you're different. State example, case studies, show charts, show graph if you have to, but show them how you improve companies that are similar in their business. Solving their problem is something that you can do better than others, but showing them how you do it is absolutely critical. Either you can maybe save them money, increase revenue, gain market share. These are issues that any CEO in any company faces. So please be prepared to discuss what the competition has said about your company. You should know your shortcomings. You should know your gap as well as your competitive advantages. Address your shortcoming before the prospect bring them up. That's the way to diffuse the issue before it becomes really a problem. And the fourth element is decision makers. You got to know your audience and what the respective roles are in the company. Each prospective client will have multiple decision makers. The role of a professional salesperson is to know each decision maker and what make them tick. And that's key. You got to identify your company champions. And these are your internal champions, are the people that you have developed a close relationship with and are feeding you information and become actually an internal advocate for your product and services. In the B2B sales, you will need to identify several other decision makers in the process within any organization you work with. That includes usually several influencers, technical staff, financial people, customer service. These buyers will influence the final decision based specifically on how your product and service will impact their specific department. Never overlook this influencer. Any one of them can sink your deal. They really can make or break a deal. If you understand the prospect pain prior to the sales pitch, you can deliver a targeted pitch that addresses each influencer's specific needs. If your product is great and your sales pitch is absolutely off the chart, but you have not made contact with the top decision makers, you're probably not going to go far. Your competition might be inferior in some cases, but might have a higher level of relationship. That means they have a superior network than you do, and they probably will end up having that specific deal. So contacts is everything. The fifth element is delivery. Have your best presenter deliver the message. If you're not the one, have somebody who can do better than you. You might only get one chance to make a sales pitch. Make it count. Bring in your A team, your A game. Practice the presentation before meeting with the prospect. You shouldn't be reading the presentation for the first time in front of your prospect. You should be extremely familiar with it. You should be delivering the message without any issue whatsoever. So incorporate several people into the sales pitch, because one person talking for a long period of time can get the customer to lose interest. Make sure that the content isn't too technical also. If an engineer is presenting, make sure that the message doesn't get lost in technical discussions, because obviously some people might not be as savvy as an engineer. Also, never get confrontational with a prospect. You can challenge their thinking without becoming confrontational. Show respect. Ask questions to make them think, to make them question themselves and question their belief. Don't be afraid to test your prospect thinking. The right question make the prospect think, ponder, and wonder about what if, and that's important. Most of these people want their customer to feel more comfortable simply by having more knowledge, but that is wrong. The customer needs to know just enough to make a decision, because your business solution is the solution that they need to solve that specific problem they have. So price becomes the main issue when the customer thinks he knows enough to do better somewhere else without you. So don't become a commodity where the price becomes more important than the value you bring to the table. So trade carefully here. So in conclusion, armed with these 5 essential sales pitch requirements that we just covered: development phase, detailed processes, differentiation, decision making, and delivery, do you see how you can improve your win ratio by modifying your approach in your next presentation? You see, in today's competitive environment, building a successful sales pitch is actually essential to the success of your organization. And a pitch is a series of well thought out questions that are part of your consultative selling approach. It's not jamming information, rather it's having a good conversation with the client that encapsulate a clear message that demonstrate the superior value you bring to the table. You see, companies have options available to them today more than ever before. So stay focused. You are always the most important competitive advantage that your company have. Sales is nothing but an exchange of energy enrolled in good communication vehicles and a lot of trust that is established with that specific client by asking the right questions and then meshing their problem with the right business solution that will address all the problems. I hope that you love this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. Thank you, and see you in the next video.